right now.
And a good Tuesday morning to everyone out there. It is the first day of July, and we got Jeff back in the building.
I am back in the building. Happy belated birthday to my mom and everybody else who was born on June 28th.
I saw that. Nice little celebration. Nice cake that you got her.
Yeah, it was really fun bringing that to her. But again, celebrating the first day of July. Unfortunately, it is a day for rent. But also, we're closer to the 4th of July celebrations, which means meteorologist Justin Horn has been following this closely to figure out what our weather is looking like.
Thanks for reminding.
I was about to say, she was all being positive, and then she hit you with the rent's due. Anyway, yeah, okay, July is here. And we had some showers yesterday. It was really kind of nice because, while we didn't get a ton of rain, clouds were in place. It just kept temperatures down, and it was, a really good way to end June. And we're starting July with rain on the radar. This is the Authority radar this morning. And we've got some showers around Uvalde, so if you're watching there this morning, nothing heavy, but you are going to see wet roads and just overall kind of showery conditions for the next couple of hours. We are not seeing that here in San Antonio, but this is an indication that we've got some good moisture that continues to work through the area. So spotty afternoon downpours here in town. With our best odds, if we're looking at the week as a whole, probably on Thursday, that's when we see some of our deepest moisture. And as it stands right now, 4th of July, and I know this forecast has kind of evolved a little bit, which we would expect it to, is looking mostly dry. We can't completely rule out a stray shower or storm, but it's looking drier than the next couple of days. Forecast for today, 20% chance of rain this morning. We'll bump it up to a 30% chance this afternoon, and your high temperature will be right around 92. Let's check the roads. RJ, what you got?
Justin, we will check that in just a little bit, but do want to get to one of our top stories this half hour. We're talking about closed campuses in the San Antonio ISD radius that could become housing in the future.
So that was one of the many things the communities around those closed schools said they wanted to see. And our very own Patty Santos joining us this morning has an update on the progress being made to repurpose those buildings. Good morning, Patty.
Hey there, good morning. First, we want to give you a look at where those buildings are located. This is a map of all the schools that were closed a year ago. You can see there's a lot of them in the east side and the northeast side, and a few of them here on the west side. But in just a few months, we're going to be hearing more about the ideas that the community has for these campuses. In a statement, San Antonio ISD says by fall, they're going to be ready to accept facility repurposing proposals. That is when businesses and organizations who want to rent out these facilities can formally pitch the plans to the district. Those interested in learning more about those rentals should reach out to the district right now as we get ready for that. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to hear from community members and why some of the buildings could become housing for those in critical industries. Guys?
Normally in the morning you see runners and walkers, joggers, people trying to get a good workout. And then of course the homeless that are waking up. So, I think it was just a freak accident.
Well, that's what one local man who frequented the Riverwalk had to say after a man's body was found floating in the San Antonio River not far from Main Plaza. San Antonio police are trying to figure out how old the man was and how long his body had been in the water. But for now, this is what investigators have told us. The discovery made right here, the river, right off of Villita Street near the Lock Bridge. It's a popular spot in the downtown area. San Antonio police said that a person walking by is the one who found the body. We still don't know who that person is and how old they are or how they died or how long they were in the river. But there were also no signs of trauma on the person's body. And the investigation, of course, still ongoing. We're going to update you with any new information as we get it.
And this morning, we are identifying the 13th victim of those horrific flooding right here in San Antonio. 78-year-old Esther Chung was originally from South Korea and had lived here in the San Antonio area for years. Friends and family remember her as a kind woman who loved her church, beautiful clothing, and life as well. Now, during the flood, we were told that she called for help, but it was too late. There is a funeral service planned for her this upcoming week, and you could go to KSAT.com for the latest developments on those victims and, of course, that deadly flooding incident right here in San Antonio.
So this morning, we got a county commissioner saying concrete is a possible answer as to why the June 12th flood at Vital Creek was so severe. Now, we here at KSAT created this interactive map that you see right there, and that right there is the deadly 1.5 northeast side where 11 people people died. Now, the area's county commissioner, Tommy Calvert, met with engineers who said the concrete in the flooding area is what made the water rise so quickly. Trees and other forms of vegetation would absorb some of that rainwater, but concrete just made it flow quicker. In about 3 weeks, we'll hear from the city leaders and their investigation into the deadly floods.
Now to a deadly shooting that we've been following over the past couple of days. A man in jail facing murder charges after killing another man at an East Side apartment complex. So according to arrest records, 34-year-old Gregory Cunningham Jr. was arrested and charged with murder. The shooting happened early Sunday morning at the Antioch Village Apartments on Upland Drive. That's where San Antonio police say that 41-year-old Marquise Green was found shot to death. Now witnesses say that an argument led up to that shooting. Okay, on to immigration here. For weeks now, KSAT has been tracking migrants detained outside the immigration court in downtown San Antonio.
So while that continues, attorneys say that there's been a troubling shift where more immigrants who are in the country illegally are starting to not show up, and more minors are now being detained.
Most days, a white bus waits on Dolorosa Street. On rare occasions, it leaves empty, but more often, migrants whose cases are dismissed are taken into custody. Most are transferred to detention centers in Pearsall, Dilley, or Karnes County. This morning, a rally and march against these type of detainments will be taking place outside the immigration court, and that all starts at 8 o'clock this morning.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says that his administration is working to create a temporary pass for immigrants who are undocumented and are working on farms and in the hospitality industry. He explained that the policy will give employers greater control. Immigrants given a temporary pass will have to pay taxes. The president said that he is tough on immigration. He also does not want to hurt farmers or people in the hotel industry, and said that he realizes his current policy is a problem that needs to be fixed. Well, a judge just threw out Kim Pax's lawsuit against the state fair in the city of Dallas over new gun rules.
Okay, so these rules came after a shooting back in 2023 that hurt 3 people at the fair.
So the court said that the fair can't keep these restrictions in place, where the gunman already pleaded guilty and is heading to prison. The fair says that it's all about keeping people safe and will keep working with police to make sure that everyone can enjoy the event without worry.
All right, Donald, definitely want to make sure that we get that safe. Well, the holiday weekend around the corner, Jeff, and many people are going to be on the roads for July 4th, and there will also be an increase of police officers, deputies, and troopers on our state highway as KSAT starts its Drive Sober, No Regrets DWI campaign.
So last year, there were more than 5,100 DUI, alcohol-related traffic crashes in Texas during the July 4th holiday time period, and that led to 64 deaths and more than 220 serious injuries.
Now, a few years ago, former O'Connor High School student and football player Charles Trammell, you see him right there, was killed by a drunk driver in Fort Worth while he was helping a friend on the side of the road. His parents are part of this campaign.
He didn't get a chance to live out his dreams of becoming a football coach and working in sports medicine. He didn't get a chance to have kids or even get married, all because someone made a thoughtless choice to drink and drive.
Now, Charles died in August of 2022, just days before his 21st birthday. This campaign will run through July 13th.
Serious story right there. But speaking of traffic, how are we looking on the roadways right now?
Yeah, Jeff, and I remember covering that story there. He was a beloved member of the O'Connor community, also part of their football team. And I remember a lot of stories, great stories shared about him. But another reminder, obviously want to stay safe on the roads. That campaign running through the rest of these, or at least the first 2 weeks of July as we get set for the 4th of July holiday. Let's give you a look here at some of our north side cameras. Traffic is looking pretty good out there for many of our drivers. North at Borkfield, Bulverde roads, traffic looking pretty good for a lot of our folks out there. Give you a look here at our citywide map because ongoing construction taking place on the far north side of town. That's going to be 1604, and from reports I've been hearing, here at the station. We got a lot of folks that are getting a little confused with some of the signage out there. So again, just give yourself a little bit more time if you're going to be stepping outside 1604, basically anywhere from Blanco over to parts of Northwest Military and also Lock Hill, Selma. We got a lot of construction taking place there. Northeast side of town, same situation there, both directions over by Live Oak and Universal City. Kind of know the drill, so we'll continue to monitor that situation. Let's go to Alex right now with an update on the roads in DriveCam. What's up, Alex?
RJ, good morning and happy Tuesday. You know what? The east side's actually all clear of construction this morning. Half an hour ago, we had I-10 and they had parts of the lanes closed right there at that interchange, I-10 and 410, but they wrapped up. All lanes are back open. I'm going to head to the far west side now, back to the original plan. I'm going to go check out 90 and 1604, make sure there's no construction delays on that side of town. But so far, Highway 90 westbound, still looking good, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Alex.
And real quick, starting this morning, KSAT Community in South Texas Blood and Tissue organizing a blood donor registration phone bank. And this is in response to the shortage of blood donations during the summer months. Representatives will be available to answer any questions that you may have from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And of course, you can learn how you can participate in that blood donor registration drive. We got it right there at ksatcommunity.com.
All right, outside with Live Cam, it is 74 and 511 this morning. We got a new round of data coming in, so we're going to give you the latest as to what your rain chances look like, not only today, but the next couple days. It's coming up.
Thank you very much, Justin. Coming up next, how a new recovery center is offering a vulnerable space for those struggling with addiction.
And more Project Marvel workshops happening today, what some council members focused on yesterday after the break.
Welcome back to GMSA on a Tuesday morning. We're continuing to follow these community workshops involving Project Marvel. This is the $1 billion plan to construct a new sports and entertainment district downtown and by Hemisphere. Now, city leaders want to hear your thoughts on it, but they're going to be hosting feedback sessions on everything about this project. There are 2 more happening later on today. They'll be bringing up topics like housing, transportation, local businesses, and how they all will be affected by the potential changes downtown. So this weekend, we spoke with some Spurs fans who say they want other people to share their thoughts and concerns as well. Yesterday's workshop focusing on culture and community.
We had 2 workshops this afternoon. So it's transportation mainly, and then where is everybody going to live? That is downtown, and then kind of the questions are, why do we need this? How are we going to pay for this? And we've got a sheet, and we're here to answer those questions.
Now, one of those meetings taking place right there on the south side of town, and if you cannot make it in person, there's also an online survey that you can fill out.
So the Diversity Recovery Center opened is a new space for people in addiction recovery, specifically for people in the LGBTQ plus community. It opened in April, and the organization says it's a loving, welcoming, judgment-free space. Recovery groups of any kind, 12-step and non-12-step, can rent out some of the most colorful rooms in the center.
A person in recovery walks into a space. They're really scared, especially if they're new. So when you're LGBTQIA and you walk into this space, you start seeing that, oh, I'm home and I'm going to be safe here.
The Diversity Recovery Alliance oversees the center. So if you're interested in getting that help, you have to go to their website's contact section. And of course, we got that link attached to this story on our website at ksat.com. Well, we got some new video showing the moments of a Disney Cruise Line ship that rescued a father and a daughter who fell overboard. The incident happened on Sunday after a little girl fell from the 4th deck, and then her father jumped in to save her. Yeah, pretty miraculous rescue right here. According to reports, the Disney Dream, that's the cruise ship, was returning to Fort Lauderdale, Florida from a trip to the Bahamas. Now, it's unclear how the child fell over those safety barriers. But within minutes, obviously, the dad jumped right in to go after her, but this pair were safely returned to the ship. Talk about terrifying right there. Scary stuff. Okay, so NASA is teaming up with Netflix to stream its content this summer. The space agency announced rocket launches, spacewalks, and mission coverage will be available on the streaming platform. So NASA says that this will make its work in science and exploration more accessible. Schedules and programming details will be announced closer to the launch, but NASA Plus will still be available through the NASA app or on the agency's website for free.
Okay, I'm going to try and get this right. EA Sports. It's in the game.
There we go.
Yeah, all right. The video game company is jumping back into the world of college basketball. EA Sports announcing the news in a social media post that read, quote, "Bring the madness. Let's run it back." The last time the company released a college basketball game was back in 2009. The new game will feature both men's and women's teams. However, fans will have to wait a little bit before they can play it. The outlet Extra Points is reporting the game will be released in 2028.
I think you did a good job. EA Sports.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Right now, let's go on the road.
Let's go. Okay. Let's take a look here at TransGuide 37 at the Alamo Dome. Traffic is looking pretty good out there for our folks as we give you a look at the Tower of the Americas. 37 Pecans Valley on the southeast side. Good morning to all of our folks over here. Quick check of our maps. Let's take a look at the construction taking place on 1604. And again, ongoing construction from Blanco all the way to parts of Chavano Park. So we'll move on from that right there as we give you a look at our camera there at West Bidders. Downtown area, don't want to forget about this. This is going to be South Laredo Street at Alamo Street. 35, the upper and lower levels, that bridge joint work is still being worked on. Let's go to Gamas right now with a look on things Drive Cam. Alex, what's up, man? Okay, so it looks like Alex's mic is off, but it looked like he was making his way all the way back to the west side of town. We'll check in with him in just a bit. Justin, got a little bit of rain yesterday by my place.
Yeah, it was light, but it was very welcome rain. And, we may see some of that again today. The Authority radar already showing some rain this morning. Let me show you where we've got our heaviest rain. And it's nothing that is going to be causing flooding or anything like that. But around Uvalde, we are seeing some of those light showers, maybe a little heavier just to the west of town there along Highway 90. And then further south, we're seeing some showers around La Pryor, Crystal City, Carrizo Springs. You're seeing a little bit of rain this morning. You'll continue to see some off and on showers. I mean, as I said, this is really welcome rain, especially for the farmers out there. And very quickly, let me switch radar sites. And we can look at the radar here around San Antonio. And we're not seeing much. This is all just ground clutter, so that does not amount to any rain. But we do have a chance today. Looking at the futurecast, these showers will continue to work off to the north and west, and we'll see some spotty showers. This is around noontime, and then even around 4 or 5 o'clock, seeing some activity. Now, I will tell you the favorite areas today will be west of San Antonio. And rain chances this week, 30% chance today. Tomorrow, a little better chance on Friday, 40% chance. And then lower chances for the 4th of July. Spotty downpours, brief but heavy, no hail or flooding. That's the good news here. And this is the setup. So we're looking at the upper level winds here. This is the heat high, if you want to call it that, that's kind of set up over East Texas. It's not very strong. It's kind of small geographically. And we're still sitting on the west side of it. So as long as that's the case, we continue to get some deep moisture that's feeding up through South Texas and especially West Texas where they've had flooding. That'll continue through, again, Thursday. And Thursday we get some pretty good deep moisture here before this high pressure kind of scoots a little bit further west and we start to see some of the drier air and sinking air, which will kind of take away our rain chances again as we get into the 4th. I did want to look back on June. We did a little bit of this yesterday, but we picked up 1/100 of an inch of rain yesterday. So officially the total for June was 7.47. That is over 4 inches above average. So June was really good. Of course, we got a lot of it on the 12th, which was not a great day for us, but we did pick up 6 inches of rain. As for July, we start the month off with an average high of 94. We end the month with an average high of 97, and we average about 2.41 inches of rain. We'll see where we end up this July. 93 tomorrow, 92 on Thursday, and then we bump it up to 94 for Independence Day. Warmer this weekend, maybe some more small rain chances next week. So it continues to be a pretty good setup for us. All right, our question for you this morning and it has to do with the summer. What is the most common weather feature San Antonio sees during the summer? Is it the dry line, a cold front, sea breeze, or a hurricane? You can go to ksat.com/poll, scan the QR code, and look, we can see all of those things, but one is far more common than the rest.
Feeling good about this one, Justin.
Okay.
Wow.
I am.
I like it. I like the
Jaff's back and
confidence.
she's feeling good.
Confidence. All right, guys, it is 5:22 right now, 74 degrees outside.
Coming up, a recall of a popular line of portable charging devices. If you have one of these, some news you need to know, and this is expanding. That and much more tech headlines coming up in just a
In today's Tech Bites, a company that makes power banks has issued its second recall this month. Anchor is warning of a fire risk with 5 additional models, saying the power banks could overheat and burst into flames. They are citing a potential battery issue and offering free replacements. Next, the shrinking Windows user base. A top Microsoft executive says Windows powers over 1 billion devices worldwide. The problem is a similar statement in 2022 put that number at more than 1.4 billion. Analysts say a major reason why is because smartphones and tablets are replacing computers. Finally, college basketball fans rejoice. A post from video game company EA Sports seems to indicate it is getting back into college hoops for the first time since 2009. The new game reportedly won't be out until 2028, but it follows EA's College Football 25, which was a huge success. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
2028.
Yes, 2028. I think I have one of those portable chargers.
Okay.
Let me double check that. It's
Yeah.
always getting hot.
You need to get an actual charge on that phone. All right, guys, it is 5:26, 74 degrees outside.
Still coming up on GMSA, our Devin Karp, where is he at? Well, he is breaking down fire safety with us ahead of 4th of July weekend. You definitely want to stick around for his story.
And good morning, happy Tuesday, and thanks so much for waking up with us, getting your week started off on the right foot.
All right, yes, so we got a little bit of showers yesterday, some parts of the city, so that was good to see, kind of cool some things down for several folks out there. So what's going to be the case today, Justin?
I think kind of a similar setup, although the more of the rain I think is going to be kind of the west of San Antonio, the way it's setting up this morning. With that said, we're still going to see quite a bit of cloud cover, and we'll still have a chance for rain here in town, so that should keep temperatures down. Just honestly, this has been kind of unusual for us. We're used to the full sun and temperatures in the triple digits, and that just has not materialized, which no one is complaining about. But you look at the authority radar this morning, and yes, we're still seeing some of those showers out near Uvalde and Eagle Pass. Not seeing a lot here around San Antonio just yet, but as the day wears on, we certainly could. There's a 20% chance of rain this morning, 30% chance this afternoon. High temperature will be right around 92. We got up to 93 yesterday, so right about in that range. Hey, maybe you're doing some traveling for 4th of July. We wanted to make sure you have a proper travel forecast. Rain chances are going to be kind of falling off a little bit by Friday. We should see a high right here around 94. There will still be some rain out across parts of West Texas, but if you're heading up to Dallas or Houston or down to the Valley, looks like your travel will be just fine. It looks good for fireworks too. We'll check in on that forecast in just a couple minutes. But now, is it RJ? It's good this time, right? Okay, good.
Yes, thank you very much. Hey, Marfa coming in 81. How about that? Shout out to Marfa. Okay. 1604 at Petrenko. Traffic looking pretty good out there for our folks on the far west side of town. North side right now over by Redland and also Spurs Ranch Road. No major delays out there. Definitely feeling those sort of holiday week vibes in terms of our traffic across the city. But unfortunately, we do have some ongoing construction right here. The construction does not stop for the holidays. Take a look here at 35 North, taking it at Topper Wine Road. Some major delays here. You see kind of this this backup that we're seeing at the moment. This is going to be all of our traffic headed northbound. That's our southbound traffic coming in our direction. Both sides of 35 being affected at the moment. A little bit further back, delays right there for our folks coming on 35 South over by Selma. So let's go to Alex right now for a look at things in Drive Cam. What's up, Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So I can tell you an area where construction has stopped. That's going to be on the west side. 90 and 1604, all lanes were open on that side of town. So I drove over here to 151. I'm actually leaving 151 to get on 1604. This side of town looking pretty good. I'm going to make my way all the way to the far north side. side and see how 1604 is looking on that side of town, RJ. But right now, nothing's slowing us down.
Okay, that is good news for our drivers on the roads on this Tuesday.
All right, just before the 4th of July, fireworks season is here and businesses across Bexar County is booming for vendors.
Yeah, San Antonio people, they love their fireworks. Okay, but the Bexar County Fire Marshal wants to make sure that you're buying from the right places. Our Devin Karp is live at a fireworks stand to tell you what you need to look out for. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, good morning, guys. You know, it's 5:30 outside, still pretty dark here, but you can't miss the fireworks stands like this. They are popping up all over getting ready for July 4th. But the Bexar County Fire Marshal's office says it's important to make sure that when you're going out shopping for some of the fireworks fun, that you're choosing a place that's legally inspected and licensed, because if not, you want to make sure that it's safe for you and your family. So yesterday, I actually had the chance to go hand in hand with a fire marshal deputy to go see what it takes to make an inspection as he goes around to these stands that often pop up right before the 4th. That means that they are looking out for things like working sprinkler systems, properly routed electrical work, making sure that there's room in the parking lot for fire trucks, the grass around it has been cut down so in case there is a fire, it can't spread easily. Not to mention the fireworks are sealed and that they're legally made for here right in the United States. But if you're going around and you want to find just a simple way to know that a place you're buying from is legit, just look for the sticker.
So you see they'll have sprinkler heads here too on the outside as well as the inside. So when you're walking up on these things, if you're an average civilian or you don't know if this place has been inspected or you don't know if it's legit, if you see one of these stickers, Fire Marshal, County of Bexar, with the current date, that means that it's been inspected. Okay, so that means it's legit.
Now, one of the biggest reasons the Fire Marshal's office says that it's so important to do this because illegal sellers, people who might be selling on social media, maybe off a Facebook marketplace, maybe even out of their house, all of that's illegal. That's more likely to have something that's illegally made or could even be stolen, and there's no guarantee that it could be safe for you or your family. So when it comes to actually lighting off the fireworks when you have the fun, folks, remember, make sure that it's not allowed within City of San Antonio limits. But if you're outside of that, just follow your local ordinances. Make sure that you've got water nearby to douse the fireworks just in case anything happens. Don't let it be too close to buildings, cars, never point it at people. And remember, if you're ever worried about something when it comes to the fireworks stand, if you're not sure what to do, you can always call the Bexar County Fire Marshal's office and let them know that this place might need to get inspected again. If you need that number here, it's 210-335-FIRE to report any illegal stands here. Coming up, we're going to have more from that tour with the Bexar County Fire Marshal deputy, seeing what it takes to pass these inspections and some of the other ways that you can enjoy fireworks safely with your family for this holiday. For now, I'll go ahead and I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, good information. Devin, well, this morning, several people without a home after an apartment fire that we brought you yesterday as late-breaking news. The flames here sparking around 3:30 yesterday morning off of Highway 90 near JBSA Lackland. Now, no one was seriously hurt, but 11 people were displaced. We also know that a firefighter was taken to the hospital to get checked out, but is expected to be okay. There's still no word on what exactly sparked this fire.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office has identified the deputy who shot at a stolen vehicle suspect 7 times back on June 21st. They say that Angel Ornelas was the deputy who tried to pull over that driver of that suspected stolen vehicle, which led to a chase in southeast Bexar County. 2 days later, on the 23rd, KSAT obtained home video of the events before Ornelas shot at the suspect's stolen car. Again, he shot at the stolen vehicle 7 times, hitting the suspect, Joshua Garcia, 3 times. Garcia was taken to the hospital for treatment, but later discharged and arrested. The deputy has been with the BCSO since December of 2023 and has been placed on administrative leave.
And this morning, we're learning what got a San Antonio police officer suspended for 5 days. We have some video right here. The officer was accused of violating SAPD procedures while responding to an incident within a 4-minute span. He cursed at least 19 times at a man at a scene. This incident goes all the way back to April, so he tried to tell officers this individual was having issues with his vehicle, and that's why it was parked on the side of the street instead of the apartment complex.
All right, a small crowd gathered yesterday voicing frustration with CPS Energy in front of the CPS Energy board meeting. Those in the rally called for an end to disconnections for some CPS customers who might be considered at risk. Some of the groups who were there yesterday include Climate Justice San Antonio, Southwest Workers Union, and Pueblo Over Profit.
Okay, well, this morning, the Bear Bulverde Fire Department celebrating a groundbreaking for a brand new fire station. You see some of the renderings right there. This one's near Canyon Golf Road and East Borgfield Drive. The department serves around 65,000 people in that area. The new fire station will also have a training facility and updated technology to protect its firefighters.
That's some good news.
What's nice about this station also is we can add some cancer for protection protect the firefighters from that exposure. There will be airlocks between the apparatus room and the bays to keep them from the smoke and the soot and all that kind of stuff. And we're adding some other cancer prevention elements as well.
Yeah, I think they were in need of a new fire station here because this one's going to replace the old firehouse that was built more than 50 years ago.
I'd love to see it. That's great. Good stuff.
Outside with live cam, it is 74 degrees. We're watching Hurricane Flossie as it flosses across the Pacific here along the Mexican coast. We'll show you where it's headed and if we're going to benefit from it at all. That's coming up.
Coming up, a change coming to gender-affirming care in health insurance plans. What lower courts ruling and also the Supreme Court is tossing out that lower court ruling.
And ahead of the 4th of July, we got health experts warning of a new COVID variant. What symptom doctors are saying to look out for.
541, taking a quick look here at Drive Cam. Our very own Alex Gomez on the streets right now. We do have ongoing construction northeast side, 35 both directions over by Topperwine. We're going to check in with Alex coming up in just a minute.
All right, listen up, guys. As you plan for those activities for the upcoming 4th of July celebrations, we got health experts sounding the alarm, trying to get you to be aware of a new COVID-19 variant called Nimbus that's spreading to the latest CDC data. Now, it's now causing more than 40% of COVID-19 cases, in addition to the symptoms with previous variants like fever, runny nose and congestion, some shortness of breath, cough, and body aches. The defining symptom for this variant, though, is what a doctor calls a razor blade sore throat.
Is really intense and it can last for a couple of days. And it's even as bad as like when you're just swallowing your saliva, just normal swallowing. It doesn't have to be with food or liquids or anything, just super intense pain.
So if you're having those symptoms, you got to go out. You need to wear a mask or continue to wash your hands. And if you are at a high risk of getting severely sick, health experts recommend getting that updated COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, that sounds painful. Well, this morning, the Supreme Court tossing aside a handful of lower court rulings that sided with transgender Americans. This comes in the wake of a blockbuster ruling this month that upheld a ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth. The justices upended rulings that blocked state policies from excluding coverage for gender-affirming care in state-sponsored health insurance plans. The High Court's also throwing out a ruling that blocked Oklahoma's attempt to stop transgender people from changing the sex on their birth certificates. Justices ordering the lower courts to review those cases again.
Blood donations drop during the summer months, but that's often the time when the need for blood goes up. University Health's Trauma Center often faces a shortage of this time of year. As a level 1 trauma center, the need for blood is always high. Blood has a shelf life of 42 days, so medical teams rely on blood donations to keep up with the demand. The biggest challenge is getting reoccurring.
We want to keep a continuous flow, so we rely on the people that continue to return to us and to donate because there's a shelf life. Blood has a shelf life, blood and platelets and all the components we make out of it. And so in order to maintain that with the need, we have to kind of have people continue to come back. It's great. We appreciate one-time donors, but we try to encourage people to continue to donate in order to keep that supply that we have.
So KSAT Community in South Texas Blood and Tissue organizing a blood donor registration phone bank later this morning from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Representatives will be available to answer any of your questions that you may have and help you register as a blood donor. We have more details about that blood donor registration drive on KSATcommunity.com.
All right, the Housing Authority of Bexar County is working to gather school supplies. Yes, school is almost here, y'all. For students in need, they're on a mission to fill 800 backpacks with supplies, and you can help them with that goal. You can drop off some items at the Housing Authorities off of Bexar County's main office. That's at 1954 Houston Street, or you can make a purchase through their Amazon wish list. You can also donate money by scanning that QR code that you see on your screen right there. All the information that you need is on KSATcommunity.com. The Back to School collection drive running through the end of this month.
Look at that.
Boom.
You usually do a countdown to these particular days, Justin. Where are we at now with back to school? We're like less than 49 days.
Oh, man.
I know you had 49 days
I don't
earlier,
remember now.
right?
I had it last week. 30-ish.
Like 30th? Second week of August.
Yeah, August 11th.
Yeah, you guys better enjoy the summer fun while you can, because it's going to go by like that.
It does. It goes by so
Russian
fast.
dreams, Jeff, over here.
Hey, you still got the whole month of July. Okay,
do.
so,
That's true.
Enjoy it. Let me show you the Authority radar this morning, guys. We continue to watch some of these showers work their way up around the Uvalde area through Uvalde County into parts of the hill country. We are not seeing any rain here in San Antonio, other than maybe a sprinkler or two. So don't expect wet roads or anything like that this morning. It doesn't want to work for me here. Let's see if we can get it to work. Nope. Some days it does, some days it doesn't. But we do have some of these showers that are, again, working through the Uvalde area this morning. And I don't know why it doesn't want to work for me. But either way, this is pretty light stuff. Again, San Antonio, not seeing any rain yet, but we do think that we'll see some showers today. About a 20% chance through the morning time, 20% chance at 1 o'clock. Then we're going to bump it up to a 30% chance during the afternoon. High temperature will be right around 92. South-southeasterly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. And if you get one of those heavier downpours, you could pick up a quick half an inch of rain, perhaps. So we'll call it spotty. Brief but heavy. No hail or flooding or anything like that. And rain chances will be at 30% tomorrow. And we'll bump it up to 40% on Thursdays. I think we're going to have a pretty good influx of moisture on that day. And then by July 4th, we bring it back down to a 20% chance of rain. Speaking of, that is not what I was looking for there. That is not our forecast. Boy, we just jumped right through that. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, July 4th, 94 degrees, 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy, 30% chance of rain, as I said, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a 40% chance Thursday. Low to mid 90s, so we're talking below average or average temperatures here. And then by the time we get into the weekend, it will heat back up into the upper 90s, likely by Sunday. Okay, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. It's timely. So what is the most common weather feature that we see in San Antonio during the summer? Is it the dry line, cold front, sea breeze, or hurricane? We see all of these things, but one is more common than the rest. And so far, dry line winning the poll here. Go to KSAT.com/poll. You can vote or scan the QR code. And Japhanie thinks she's got the answer.
I do, but now that you're reading it out, I think you should have provided like a definition for each one of them.
I can if you'd like.
Yes.
I think the producer's going to tell me I don't have time to do that.
Next time. Next time. We got to go through those definitions, and then I'll be able to answer it very confident.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Cannot wait to see the answer to that. All right. Take a shot here. 37 at the Alamo Dome. And Justin, are you ready to grab yourself that Luke Cornett jersey?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Who is Luke Cornett? All right, he's the guy that the Spurs signed yesterday. It is the first day of free agency for our San Antonio Spurs. They got a big man. Going to get some Wemby, some help inside. 4 years, $41 million. Not a bad chunk of change for Luke Cornett coming to us from the Boston Celtics. Okay, so let's go to the traffic situation right now. 35, this is going to be our biggest trouble spot at the moment on the northeast side of town. We're looking at our traffic kind of building here, going through Live Oak and Universal City. Topper Wine looks like we are starting to clear things a little bit further south. Topper Wine Road traffic starting to move along here just a little bit better. Southbound traffic, though, starting to see pretty good backups here. Usually kind of the norm we see past Selma headed towards parts of Evans Road. So let's go to Alex right now with a check of things in Drive Cam. All right, we do not have Alex coming up here. All right, I will make my way back over to the desk. And once again, yes, our San Antonio Spurs making a free agency move yesterday, Luke Cornett. So the Spurs continue to make some moves here as they build this young team.
All right, guys, we're looking at 552 right now, 74 degrees outside.
Coming up, we got a big name in athletic gear taking on a retail giant over some alleged knockoffs. We're going to tell you who's suing and why.
All right, welcome back. We got a popular athletic clothing brand taking legal action against a well-known big box retailer. And we're talking about the one and only Lululemon suing Costco for selling knockoff versions of its clothing. According to a lawsuit filed Friday, Lululemon claims that Costco sold unlicensed apparel. The company says that the wholesaler's private label line, Kirkland, is selling similar clothes at a fraction of the price. Lululemon is seeking to recover full financial losses. The company also asked the court to require Costco to stop selling the products. See, I'm all about just give me some Walmart brand. I'm fine.
I was
Lululemon
it's expensive.
It's very expensive, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Go ahead.
I went in there for like some shorts the other day and I walked right out. I was literally like, okay.
All right, guys, stick around. 5:56 right now.
Okay, coming up on the next hour of Good Morning San Antonio, we're talking about district repurposing, something we've been covering for some time now, and talking about some of these closed campuses, figuring out what they're going to do with some of these. Our very own Patty Santos is going to be standing by. She could tell us how they could become the future for some housing in our area.
And our one and only photojournalist Alex Gomez has been out and about all morning long, checking out the road conditions, construction, everything. You guys stick around. We got a update on what your commute is looking like after this.